Spartan 300 tonight.
Actually, it is no longer a doubleheader, right? I think it's
Right.
just a single race.
Oh, it's just one.
It's
Oh, that's
just
right.
yeah,
Because
it's just
next
a
week,
single race.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. So yeah, just the one. I got the title wrong, but that's fine. But
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm a truck guy, okay? Leave me alone. But yeah, we're going to Bristol tonight. It should be a really fun race. We have what 29 in the field tonight, plus Jade, who decided to race kind of last minute. But it's gonna be fun with him out there. It's his first race in the Xfinity cars this season. He's been in trucks with me um, for uh, for this whole stretch here with trucks and Xfinity. But Matt, I want to get your thoughts on what's going to happen tonight, and just start it off for us.
Oh, there's no telling what's going to happen tonight. I mean, we saw last week with what the truck guys went through. You know, that first race went very smoothly. You know, I think we had maybe one caution, and the second race was pure chaos, which is partly why we got rid of the doubleheader for Busch, because we didn't want a repeat of that. But I mean, that second race went to show that, you know, when push comes to shove, you know, late in the races, the intensity is going to ramp up. So if we do get a late race caution, business is definitely going to pick up, and we're going to see a lot more aggression and bumpers getting used. But honestly, I think if we can settle into a rhythm early on, I think we might see a lot of good green flag racing. And after that, I don't know, but I'm optimistic. I'll just say that.
Gotcha. You know, I'm pretty optimistic too. So so when the truck series, what it was last week, we had the Bristol double header for us. Um, the first race went well for my team. We were up in the front. We finished 1-2, Marty and me, and then in the second race it just did not go as well with that field flip. Obviously, you guys aren't going to have to deal with that tonight. But it is going to be interesting once you go through those stages of the race where you're going to be worried about tire wear, and you're going to be worried about your fuel if we have a big green flag run, which I really hope you guys do, because racing's just only going to get better from there.
Yeah,
But
I agree 100%. I mean, if we do get a lot of green flag racing early on, I think we're really going to see who set their cars up for short runs and who set them up for long runs, and hopefully there might be some comers and goers as we go, and we'll get to see who's got what tonight.
yeah, you know, I completely agree with that. I couldn't be more ecstatic on the people that are going to be able to race tonight. We will definitely have everybody 15 and 15, I believe, for
Should
sure.
be pretty close.
Should be pretty close, like you said. But we'll definitely see. And one guy that has decided to show up tonight is Jade Burr, and he will be in the booth tonight with us. He'll be an in-race reporter. It's going to be really exciting to be able to see him on track for the first time in the Busch Series. Jade, what are your thoughts on tonight?
You know, I haven't missed a Bristol double points race since we started, so I'm pretty stoked to be in the car tonight. You know, Sam couldn't make it. Um, you know, it's exciting to be in the car, be on the track with these guys. I don't really get the chance to race the Busch Series a whole lot, so it'll be exciting to be here and see what everyone's got.
Yeah, you know, I was saying before that you've been in trucks with me for this whole season here, and it's going to be exciting to see what you got to bring to the table tonight in a different vehicle. You know, you're in a car tonight. But one guy that's been really showing up and showing out since he got to the Xfinity Series, Drake, you've been extremely fast, pulling away from people with what seems ease. What are your initial thoughts going into what could be a pretty big field tonight at Bristol?
I really got no idea, man. I'm just not looking forward. I feel like if I could just get a good qualifying lap in, and start at least close to the front, I think I'll be okay. But if you start anywhere mid-pack, I mean, it's just going to be hell trying to get up front.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I do completely agree with you that it's gonna be a tough task to move yourself if you are in the back from to the front. We might see a lot of guys that we usually see on these mile-and-a-half tracks and like 2 mile tracks, like say Auto Club, which was earlier in the season, where they were up in the front. These guys that we know are fast. They're not gonna have great nights. They're throughout the season at these short tracks, especially a track like Bristol.
Yes.
It's not going to be what they would like to see. It definitely wasn't what I like to see in that second race when I was in the truck race. I finished bridesmaid to last. It was not great, but the first race for me was good. And since you guys aren't going to have to deal with 2 races tonight, it's going to be definitely interesting for me to see how this plays out because I didn't get this experience. But Grant, we haven't seen you a lot in the Busch series this year, but I'm ecstatic to see what you can bring to the table tonight. It's a short track. You've had good luck here before. What do you think?
Uh, it's definitely going to be a night like no other that we've had so far. Um, for me, really, I'm just trying to get the best finish I can. Hopefully, top 15, top 20. Because I know this is some of the better guys in the league that run in this series as well. But then, we still do have a lot of rookies at the same time. So it's not really easy to predict what we're going to get.
Yeah.
But,
I think you're right on that. It's going to be unpredictable for sure. It's not going to go the way you want it to at all. It's Bristol. It's not going to be fun necessarily, and it's not going to be. It is going to be exciting, but it's not going to be fun for a lot of people. And I think that's what a lot of guys have to take into account tonight. People are going to get upset tonight, for sure. It's not going to be the best race in the world. People are gonna hit each other. They're gonna door slam each other. They're gonna get put into the wall. And some people may not take kindly to that, and they might go out and race the same way that they've been raced, and it's going to cause problems. But a lot of other guys, I have confidence in to really take that step and say, okay, it's Bristol. I'm upset that I just got put in the wall, but it's gonna be okay. Like next week we got Vegas. It's good.
Vegas is a great track, man.
It's gonna be okay. It was great last night. I tell you that
Yeah.
it was really really good last night. There was a late race caution last night, and you know what? I feel like there's gonna be at least one late race caution tonight. That's gonna shake things up big time, and it's gonna really really mess some strategies up. And you know what? That is exactly what I propose to happen. It just feels like a Bristol night to just go out and have like a good green white checkered. That's just the way I feel. But um, a nat 20. I just saw you pop in here.
Yes, sir.
You've had what seems to be a pretty decent season so far. What do you think's going to happen to you, your teammates, and your friends around you during this race at Bristol tonight?
Oh gosh, I'm terrified about this race. I'm panicking already, fully expecting the worst. I'm okay with that. And on that, I just want to say real quick, I want to vouch for Mid Ohio. because this Bristol race was quite the spectacle last season, and we only have a bigger field right now. But Mid Ohio's put on 2 amazing finishes the last 2 seasons, and if we go out like that, that's great. But that was some great racing. But tonight, I'm just trying to survive, much like a Talladega race. Don't want to make too many people mad. But I'm bringing some bad news because last week we had Steph Curry fill in for us, and Zach actually, the points leader, has a baby on the way, so he might miss any night now. So luckily he has that points cushion, but he's not missing tonight. Steph still wanted to race. Bristol's actually his favorite track, so we have him out there. Hopefully he can play spoiler out there. He's not going to get any points, but if he can finish in the top 10, that'll block somebody else from getting points. That could work out in our favor. Zach, however, has 102 fever tonight, racing sick. So that's another storyline to keep out for. Don't know how that's going to affect his race. He was really struggling in practice.
Okay.
Fergie, we were supposed to practice a little bit, but he was running late, so not the most confidence coming in here. But this season has been great for my guys, and hopefully you can at least put on a show.
You're right. It has been a great season for you and your guys up until this point. I mean, everybody's been really putting on display what they have to offer, and what they have to offer is elite stuff. A lot of these guys that run in the Busch series here, they have the tools to succeed. They have what it takes to get it done, and they show it every single race. It may not work out in their favor in the end, but at some point they get their spotlight and they show it. But those storylines, we're definitely gonna look out for those tonight. It's gonna be something that might seem out of a movie if Zach were to be able to win tonight. He's had a really great stretch here. Last couple races, he's raced really well. Not saying that he hasn't. He has definitely, but it's been a high point for him and for your team these past couple weeks. But I'm gonna really be able to take in what this race is gonna be like tonight. Gonna be very exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens. But Jade, what do you got to offer to us here?
I'm gonna touch on a critical role for a second. With that being my Lions team, congrats to Zach. Anytime soon, his life's gonna be turned upside down. Than him running sick tonight. It's he's been fast last few weeks. He's been fast on pretty much most of the season. Got his first win. So he's really been riding a high right now. It's gonna be it's always great to race these Busch guys, see what they got. As I always say, I don't get a chance to race with them too often, so it's gonna be fun. And Nat, you and I have had some pretty good battles. Been teammates for the last year or so. Now you started your own team, and now you're doing your own thing, and I love it.
Yeah, we're corporate teammates. Yeah,
exactly.
I just some random lobby one day. I was racing with Dash, and we had an incident. We messaged each other, and it blossomed into this. It's awesome to see. And I know you predicted, Jay, that once Zach got his first win, he would go on a string of them. And with where he's at, he's got an opportunity to go on a string of some bad races, or, like Dash said, something out of a movie. If he can win tonight while sick and then rush to the hospital and meet his new baby boy, that'd be something out of a movie for sure.
Oh, definitely. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to see it. It'd be awesome part of it. I know I'm gonna be rooting for him, but the old boss has got something to say if I'm behind him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it easy on him if I got a shot to win.
Good.
We're getting ready to start heats here. I don't even know what heat number I'm in. I'm just here.
Hey, who's the host of your lobby, Jade?
Keith. I think I'm heat 1.
Okay, well then you're in with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, Drake, I'm actually your teammate tonight.
On God, brother. Let's work together out there.
Let's get it, brother.
Yep. Shake and bake.
Thanks, y'all. Good luck. I'm gonna hop in the other part. See you after the
Heat
race.
1 just started.
All right, it was good talk. It was good talking to you, Nat. Thanks for
Yes, sir.
coming on. Thanks for coming on. But Godzak, wanted to talk about him a little bit more. Jade, you mentioned he got his first win. That's kind of what I was referring to just a bit earlier, about him having a really good stretch here. You know, really flying high right now. So so to speak. But as of the moment, like Annette said, he's got a really tough task to face here at Bristol, as well as in his own personal life. He's got a fever tonight. He's got a baby on the way. You know, I really do think that if he gets this win here, who knows? But racing could really, really cure him for sure. But no, you said heat races are underway here. Or
Yep, Heat
about
1
to?
just started.
Okay, heat races are underway then. But
And it's double points the whole way around. Heat races are double. Finish is double. Ooh.
beautiful. We love to see that.
Mhm.
But I've had a tough time this year, with getting 4 cars in the field every single race. I feel that's a lot of the time that's just how league racing goes on Heat 5 here. But soon we're going to be getting an update here, via Motorsport Games, but and a lot of other different sources like the Athletic and things. But it's going to be different in the Cup Series for sure. Looking forward to 2023, which is still a really good bit away, but just about under 100 days. Been counting them. So soon we'll get that update. We'll get new drivers. Might even get the new car. Who knows yet? But I feel that these series are really going to be coming down the stretch. It's going to be a real big telltale story of a lot of guys that can do it and a lot of guys that aren't able to. And that's just how it goes sometimes. But going through some of these teams, you find guys that have shined shined big time throughout the season, and guys that just haven't had their spark yet, and they'll have that. They'll have that as we go through the season, whether it be the final race of the season or whether it be tonight. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes, and I think we're going to have a really good night of racing tonight.
I think so as well. I'm battling for Nitro. Nitro got on the apron. He spun it. Nitro and I Nitro and I are racing pretty hard for 6th right now, and I don't know if I pinched him down or whatnot. And of course, my phone wouldn't load Discord quick enough before the race started, so I can't communicate to Nitro that that was my fault. And but it's hard stuff right now, and it's I don't even remember what the question was.
No.
That you asked.
But no, it's not. It's all right. But I think what you kind of said, I'm gonna elaborate off that. It's gonna be tough with communication tonight. We have a really big field. Didn't have that kind of field in the Truck Series, but we have this kind of field in the Busch Series every single Wednesday. We have about 30 guys that show up every single Wednesday. That's really, really, really good to see. That's what we were striving for. But it's also really tough on communication. These guys have to be borderline elite at it. We don't really. We have team chats and things for teams to communicate with each other, but most of the time, if it's not under caution, you can't really communicate with the other drivers, and that's the realism of it. That's exactly what the real drivers in real life have. They communicate with their team, but they don't communicate with the other drivers on the track, and that's really what builds a lot of chemistry between the field. Once you race around guys for a long time, that really creates a good feel for what this person's going to do when you get up to them, and what this person's going to do when you try and make a move on them. But what are you experiencing out there in the first heat race, there, Jade?
Yeah, I'm battling a tight car right now. I went with a slider 6, and
Consider yourself the lucky one, brother. I am on a slider 9, and I do not even want to look at my right rear tire right now. I don't even want to look at it, brother. I am absolutely pedaling this thing, honestly.
says the one that's leading the race right now.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know, man. Keith might be able to run me down on this long run here. I am loose as hell.
When Nat gets back up to me, I might give him the spot here. Because he was under. I don't know, like he was way down low and I was way down high, and the back end kicked and I burped it and it shot down the track. So.
Gotcha. But
I might give him the spot here, because he's running. He's got the momentum right now.
But yeah, a lot of give and take tonight for sure. A lot of guys are gonna have to know when it's gone too far, or when it's not even gone far at all yet, and they're gonna have to assess the situation that they're in, and take what they're ultimately gonna get, or what they think they are can or are going to get. But it's definitely not said enough. But these drivers have to.
Oh, there's a caution.
Caution. But
They don't need fuel. Don't put fuel in it.
These.
I'm gonna try to get into.
Drivers have to definitely save what they have to save. They're gonna have to go out on a limb. If we have that green white checkered, some guys might go out on a limb and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna pit. It's Bristol, couple laps, see what happens," and it's gonna create for some really good racing tonight.
I really do think the long run and the short run is going to be interesting tonight, because this is definitely a track where you can get away with, being just a little bit looser, but it's also a track where you can tighten the car up and be so much quicker on the long runs too. So I think we'll see a good balance of that tonight. Just like what Matt said, we'll probably see a lot of comers and goers.
I think he was right too, and I think you're exactly hit the nail right on the head with that. But you are gonna see a lot of comers and goers tonight. You're gonna see a couple guys up front that we maybe haven't seen up front almost all season. And these guys are gonna run up there for a little bit, and if they can't handle the long run car and it gets away from them, then that's their time in the sun, for this race, or at least for like a stage or so. But once we get through the first couple of stages, and if we don't get a caution, or maybe 3 or 4 in the final stage there, we're going to really see the top dogs, guys who are at the top of the points here this season, really rise to the top, rise and drive to the front of the field, and get what they ultimately deserve. Good driving and consistency. Consistency is one of the things that I pride myself on. I don't have a win in the Truck Series right now, but I am pending points, like 4th in points. So we'll see how that shakes out. But and that's a lot of the case for some of these guys in the Xfinity Series too. Some of these guys don't have wins. They don't have the best resume, but they're up there. They're competing. They're competing really, really well. And that's what we really have to look out for at Bristol, because Bristol favors those type of people that consistently put up good laps every single time. But waiting for the heat races to end here. Jade, how many laps you got in yours?
Coming to 7.
Coming to 7 to go. Okay. Once we get the heat races over and done with, we'll get qualifying in for the main race, and then go race in the main race. But a lot of guys to watch out for tonight in these certain heats. I'd like to tell you that my guys are going to be awesome, but shit happens. I'd love to tell you that, but I mean, they are great. They're good. They're good. They're really good drivers. But resume this season has been not great with luck at all from other drivers for sure. But a guy to watch out for who's been in the truck series lately is Maggio. Maggio has really stepped up to the plate, so to speak. In the truck series, he's really put out what he he takes in a lot of information, I feel, and then puts it on the racetrack and goes as hard as he can. And lately, I mean, the race last night, he was in there, and he didn't have the best of luck. If that race went completely green, I don't think he would have finished where he would have finished. He would have gotten possibly a better result. There was some shake-up there in the longer run, and some strategy as well. But he's really coming to his own after missing the first couple races, I believe. Shown actually he has. We've heard a lot about him from other people. We've got a really good track record with him so far, and hopefully he can keep that going, obviously. But he's someone that I'll be keeping an eye on.
Sorry, he won us over. I was just letting you guys know.
Cool. Awesome.
And Keith won it.
Nice. But I'm gonna see how many laps they have in the second heat here. Alright, well, I don't know yet, but it sounds like they're getting to the end of that by what I can hear. Make sure we get screenshots of everything for points in the first heat there. Hopefully Matt can get some screenshots and stuff there as well. But we're getting ready. It's almost race time. It's almost race time, people.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
what if instead of doing qualifying, we just did the fastest lap in the heat race?
What?
I said, what if instead of doing qualifying, we just do the fastest lap from the heat race? There's an idea.
So are you gonna sit there and combine all the laps from the heats?
No, you don't have to do that. Just literally stay in the lobby. Well, actually, yeah, you can't. You're right. My bad.
You're good.
Two lobbies.
My bad.
But it's a good idea. Good idea initially.
It was a good idea if we had a way to combine the
Yeah.
lap times.
That's true.
First heat's going right now. They're not done yet.
That was a really intense race between me, Keith, and Maggio at the end there. That was really fun.
Yeah. I wish I would have had a shot to get up there and battle with you. I was in the top 5 there for a hot second, then Godzak, he just apologized about the first time we touched. It was you, Zach, and myself were 3 wide. It was just whatever. I understand it's contact. It's gonna happen. Then the second time he lost the car and it went up, put me in the wall. And next thing I knew, I fell back to 9th, and I was like, "Oof, it sucks."
Jade, who do you
that
think's-
race was extremely fun.
Sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead. My bad.
Jade, who do you think's gonna be elite tonight?
Definitely, when you say a safe bet would be Drake. A safe bet would probably be Maggio. Goose, Casey if he's racing.
Right.
Let me think who else. You know, and you got guys like what's his name? I'm drawing blanks on names right now.
Keith
Um,
maybe.
Keith, Godzak, those people.
yeah, the normal
U-
guy.
Usual suspects, yeah.
Usual suspects. Who do you think's going to be a sleeper tonight? Do you guys have any picks for sleeping drivers that might make their way up to the front? Maybe steal a win?
Turf Tech.
You like Turf?
I like Turf. Turf was really quiet. He had a real quiet heat. Didn't really do a whole lot, but he was up there.
Yeah.
Turf's one to watch. Kevin's one to watch. And I'm gonna say a Nat.
A Nat?
Because a Nat 20, those weird tracks where you can pull a strategy out of your rear end,
Mm-hmm.
a Nat's gonna be the one to do it.
Yeah. Drake, who do you think's going to be sleeper tonight?
What?
Drake, who do you think's going to be like a sleeper tonight? Sleeper driver.
That's a good question. Honestly, Keith looked really competitive in the first heat race. Of course, he won, obviously. I kind of had a rough time on that restart because we got a caution about halfway through. But
Yep.
I feel like Maggio is a guy who, obviously he won at Las Vegas, but I think he's one of those guys that you can never really rule out because when he's good, he's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably have to go with either Keith or Maggio at the moment.
Gotcha. And I was just talking about Maggio too. He missed the first couple races of the season here, but he won at Vegas. We've seen him perform, better than anybody else in that field at that given moment. We've seen that before, and hopefully somebody can come out of the rubble and the dust and steal one tonight. But if this race does go green, I feel that, like I said before, the top dogs will drive to the front, drive away with it. But yeah, that's really what I think is gonna happen tonight. It's pretty self-explanatory when you dive deep into it. But how is that second heat coming?
Just finished.
Just finished. Okay, not bad. For me, I think a sleeper for me tonight. I got a couple guys that I think could really do some damage. I think Goose could really do some damage. He's been good this season, but we've seen him in past seasons be great. I feel like he could really kick that off tonight and get what he rightfully deserves, another win here. I think another guy, I don't want to make it sound like I'm rooting for my own guys on stream, but I do think Clayton has shown some really good speed in that 54 car, and I feel like he could have a really good shot if he don't have some bad luck, just like anybody could. But definitely going to be interesting here to see how this one plays out. But, all right. What do you guys think about real world NASCAR right now?
I would love to talk about that. All right, so I think real life NASCAR right now, especially the past 2 weeks being Bristol and Texas, is an absolute fucking joke. And if they don't find a way to fix these tire fucking issues, it's going to continue to be a joke.
Right.
I think that this
We're
whole
streaming.
NASCAR season has been a clown show, and I think that the officials at NASCAR and the engineers that came up with the idea to use these tires are dipshits.
But
And I think that there's a lot of people that agree with me on that.
right.
We're streaming.
Oh God.
I I couldn't
Although
agree.
I will say though I like having high horsepower, at least semi with the 670, and overall with the aero package on these cars, the way that the draft works and the way that cars can run side by side without getting loose is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I would say is definitely a step up from the past couple years. But the tire issues are just unacceptable.
You're exactly right. I could not agree with you more. Even with um, the profanity, I would love to use profanity, but
Yeah, my
I
mistake.
digress. But I completely agree with you. We saw. I mean, it's been 4 non-playoff drivers win the first 4 races of the playoffs. I mean, it's been crazy. We've had so
Yeah.
many different winners. And the
What is it, 20,
tires.
19, 20 different? I think it's like
I think
19 now or
I think it's
something.
19. Is what
Yeah.
I think we have now because Reddick's won before the season. But um, the tires are just abysmal. I mean, it's just horrible. Like in the past, especially the past 2 weeks. I mean, I mean, although RFK did end up winning Bristol, you know, Keselowski could have gotten a win. He could have gotten what I mean, when you're in the regular season, and he was
Yeah.
probably going to be able to get in anyway in the regular season, if he didn't have that point penalty early on and set him back big. But I think what we're going to be dealt with tonight is maybe a mix of both. Might have some tire issues tonight. Truck race was pretty brutal on my right front. Um, Maybe the Xfinity
Right
cars.
front at Vegas? What are you on about, brother? That is a right rear track all the way. What do you mean?
I mean Bristol.
Okay, good. I was gonna say
Yeah.
if you got on the right front at Las Vegas, tell me how the hell you did that, please.
I mean the right front at Vegas wasn't any better. I was like coming to the end of the run of the trucks. I was like at 6% with like 1 lap to go on my fuel. I was running at it. I was running that thing in there, diving
Yeah.
it deep in there. But it was fast. So, but I think we might see some tire issues tonight, just like we have been in, um, real life. And I think it's going to play a pretty decent factor in how these laps play out. But just when can I join here? Hey Jade, Drake,
Yes.
when can I join?
We have not begun yet. They are restarting the lobby, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Not exactly sure
Alright.
why, but
Maybe I didn't get enough people slots in there. Something.
yeah, yeah, that stuff happens sometimes.
Yeah. But goodness. Well, Prius is always good. Prius is always good, guys. I mean,
Yep.
I like it.
Dash,
Yes.
you got room for me to join tonight or not?
I mean, I guess.
Oh,
No, you're good. You can join.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. How's your night going?
Good,
That's good.
good.
Yeah. Haven't talked to you in a while. How's everything else going with you?
Been really, 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 really busy.
Yeah.
I decided tonight I was quitting early and gonna try to watch the race.
Cool. Nice. We appreciate you with everything you've done for this league as well, sponsoring
Thank you.
the Rogers Racing Engines Cup Series, and bringing what seems like a lifetime of opportunities for these guys. But do you got any picks tonight? We were just making them a little bit ago. Do you got any picks?
I guess I really can't say because it's been like probably 7 weeks since I've even been able to watch a race. The last
Yeah.
race I watched was a truck race, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's on top or bottom or middle or or anything right now. I know we got a lot of good drivers,
Yeah.
but some of these guys, to be honest with you, I don't even know.
Well, you got one guy that you definitely know racing tonight. That's Jade Burr.
Yes, I do.
That's all right.
Keith is always a solid pick, I guess. Keith.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. Did you guys start qualifying yet?
Yes, we are currently in the loading screen right now. You can join.
Okay. I will not be watching qualifying, but
Okay.
I would like to know who is the top 3 when you get the chance. If you guys are done, I'll see it anyway when I get in the lobby, but hopefully you guys can get some good laps in. Bristol's a really small track, so hopefully we can get some really like telltale pole laps instead of just, we had a lot of contact.
Multiple tenths off, and and people in your way, and get out of my way, man! I'm trying to hit my lap,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's probably what it's going to be like, though. So good luck, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just going to immediately go high and let everybody go past me.
Oof.
I'm going to quite literally go a lap down almost.
But I think going back to real life NASCAR, I think that I agree with you, Drake, that I like the more horsepower and stuff. But what I really liked was when we were in Gen 6 and it was high horsepower, high downforce.
Yes, 2014 package.
Yes, going
Now that
200
was cool.
going 200 miles an hour down the front stretch at a 1.5-mile track. And going,
Don't forget about 215 in Michigan.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. 215 in Michigan. And
now that was some crazy shit right there.
Yes,
That was
and
awesome.
the racing at the restrictor plate tracks is really good too. Obviously, we had to probably tone that down a little bit with the horsepower, but the 1.5-mile racing, I mean that created for some.
I just slid into one.
Oh. But the
I'll tell you what though, me personally, my favorite plate package ever is the 2019 plate package.
Really?
Either that or what they had in the late 90s.
Gotcha.
That last race that Dale Sr. won at Talladega, that package was really good too. But there's just something about that 2019 plate package. I didn't like the 1.5-mile package. I didn't really like the short track package that much either. But man, the plate packages, all the plate races we had the past couple years right before this next gen car were just awesome plate races. And I think that honestly that plate package is superior to the one we currently have right now.
Yeah, and that, I feel like NASCAR for sure did that for a reason. They they emphasized having a better plate package and having a better short track and 1.5-mile package, which obviously didn't end up in their favor at all. But they tried to appeal to a younger generation in these past few years and getting people to like the racing because they're going 200 miles an hour, at a big market super speedway track like Daytona or Talladega. But yeah, I liked the super speedway package then, but I really loved seeing the 1.5-mile and short track package back in 2014, 2015. Those cars were just
yeah.
Mwah, they were so good. I mean,
I agree.
and the sound of them too. You know, they had really thin sheet metal on the outside of them, and the cars were just banging around. You know, it was just awesome. But
They were absolutely screaming, dude. Those
yes.
cars, they looked cool, they sounded cool, they raced good. I mean, they were that was the era.
Yes, that was when I first started playing NASCAR games. I played NASCAR 14 and NASCAR 15. I got
Yeah.
racing online, and that's exactly when I started, and that's actually probably when I actually grew up with racing. You know, that's when I started paying a lot more attention to it and watching every single race, keeping up with
Yes.
who is good and who's not. But yeah. Speaking of racing, how's the qualifying going?
We had just finished qualifying. Maggio had the pole.
Mm-hmm.
Maggio had the pole. Alright, just let me know when you guys are loading in.
Sure will do.
We can get this race underway.
Make sure Dash gets invites to the boot or the lobby, boys.
Yes.
Man, I really should have practiced pit road entry. I mean, I probably won't have to do it at all, but you never know.
Drake, where'd you end up, buddy?
I am currently sitting third, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, I'm sixth. I'm not too far back.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna be on a 7.
I was using 9, but I'm scared to do that for this first run because we might get a long run here.
Mm-hmm.
Or we might not. Who knows? This is the first time we're all going to be on track, so we probably won't. But
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm just gonna. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go
It's
for a 9.
just Dash, Drake, and myself. Yep.
You know, Jade and Drake, how do you guys like your own chances tonight?
That is a
Drake,
good
you go ahead
question.
and go first.
We'll see. I feel like I'm going to not be so good on the first run here because I'm going to be using the higher slider. I'm going to be loose and sliding. But I think once I get the pit setup in, I think we'll be pretty good. It's just going to be really tough to pass people because they're going to be running in the middle or the bottom. And really to pass somebody, you're just going to have to crowd them a little bit, you know? Even if you're faster than them, it's still going to be tough to get the job done. So.
Yeah. You're definitely going to have to pinch them down if you're on the high side, and then if you're on the bottom, you have to run them deep into the corner to at least get some type of advantage off the corner. But Jade, how do you like your chances tonight?
Personally, I don't think I got a shot to win. I think maybe I'm gonna be a top 10 car. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I struggled in the heat race and I struggled in quali. I'm sitting 6th, so you know, right in the middle of the top 10. Starting. Go ahead and join there, Dash.
Okay. Cool.
The screen.
Okay. We're off the blue screen.
So yeah, I think that I'm gonna have my shot to win here tonight is my thing tonight is I'm watching to see who's gonna be eligible for Cup. I've sat in the booth and I've watched the races. Now I'm gonna be out here racing them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see who's eligible for Cup. That's been the big reason why I'm here. Other than the fact I've never missed a double points Bristol race. So we're gonna see how they fare and see what we can do here. So we're getting ready to go in here.
Yeah, you know, you said it perfectly. You know, you're going to be out there, you know, basically scouting for Cup, you know, in your own league.
Yep.
You know, it's going to be something definitely I'm going to have to watch out for too.
Here, boys.
But
Good luck, guys.
as we get going here, green flag is a waving. Maggio sends it down into
Mind if I hop in?
1 and
I don't care.
2.
We're already racing, so I can't send you an invite. I think you can join off of me.
I got.
As we watch from Maggio here, we got a caution already.
Woo!
Drake, did you end up grabbing that, or has he still got it?
Nah, yeah, I'm in second.
Alright.
I lost 6 to Godzak.
know I'm going to be faster on this short run here because I think I'm on a looser slider than Maggio, so I'm going to try to really take advantage of that before it gets to the long run and I start slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have that high side, so you're gonna get that advantage.
That's true. The high side is so strong here. I guarantee if we have a final restart, the car that's going to win is most likely going to be the car that starts second place on the outside.
You know, if they can hug the guy on the bottom going into 1 and 2, you know, I mean, the high side on restarts usually isn't a great place to be on the initial.
But in this track, it absolutely is.
Exactly, but on the initial start, you have to really hug that guy in the bottom and get a run off.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
as we come to the restart zone here, we're back underway, and just as you
37.
said, Drake, you're gonna have to hug this guy. Yes, you're gonna be able to get this in the long run here, or maybe even right now. But as we look back into the field, got a car on the wall. Nothing happening there. Looking back, the front camera from Maggio. Got a car on the inside wall. Not sure who that is. Look here. Flipping through everybody. You get to see everybody tonight. Looks like Truck Train was the car in the wall in the front stretch. Here's Grant in the 9. He is way back there, but he's getting a really good perspective for us as to what we're going to see. We've got 3 wide up in front of him. Hopefully that can dissipate. Nothing can happen there. Oh, Trump Train's around. And a couple guys are into the pits. That is not going to be a caution. And the 16 as well was also down there. Grant into the wall here. The cars that were in pit road, they're a Nitro. It's the 51 of Mike, and looks to be the 44 of Scorpius.
I think Maggio's looking good tonight, guys.
Yep. He's getting the bumper though, the 74. That's turf. Jade, your pick is doing you well right now.
I'm pretty sure if Maggio can just limit the mistakes tonight, he'll at least get a top 5 finish. Maybe even a top 2 or a win.
Got Matt Parkhurst right behind Maggio and in place behind Turf there, as well as Godzak and the 89 of Keith Ayers, who was the Heat 1 winner.
Now, you know something we didn't talk about yet is lap traffic.
You're exactly right. We didn't even touch on that. But lap traffic's going to play a huge impact on the way that, I mean, Drake, as of right now, it's you. The way you, the leader, navigate through that. We got a caution.
Good evening, gentlemen. That was a quick race for me.
Steph Curry is in the wall there. Looks like it was him. Had the damage. David Roach also has a bit of damage. Nitro also has damage. Might have been from that previous incident.
Well, howdy, Dash. I figured I'd jump in the booth since my night went real quick with lag out.
How's it going?
Very good.
Other than lag out, how's it going?
I mean, it happens. I mean, everybody, obviously, with that many cars, it can happen. Some of us are hardwired, some of us aren't. I mean, I'm still waiting to get my stuff straightened out, but now I get to join you guys and communicate with you.
Cool. As we get back going here, car didn't go on the outside. That was Game Nerd. He's going to shuffle things up back there. They're going to be 3 wide, 4 wide there for a moment. And they're already wrecking back there. See the 54 down on the apron. It looks as though they do not keep it green.
and that's just it too. I mean, folks. I mean, we have over 20-something drivers in this Bristol race. It's that kind of cooperation kind of deal that we talk about sometimes. To get through the stages and this and that, especially on a tight track. But it's not easy to do in any form way. people get anxious, this and that. Cars just aren't ready. I mean, they should by now already, with us a couple yellow flags that they just had, they should get some setups in. I'm hoping that the racing will change as the time goes on and everybody gets a little more patient and not so ambitious, I guess you would say.
Right. It looks like the 7, the 36, the 47, and the 44 were all involved in that mess that we just witnessed there. But we'll
We're
be
going to
coming
have
back.
about 22 laps to go in the
Okay.
first stage right here.
Thank you. I was about to ask you that question too. You did my
Oh,
work
guys,
for
if you
me.
can do me a favor when you get rolling, if while we're going into a stage break, if you guys could throw me an invite for the race, that would be cool. So I can.
I think you might be able to join up, Jade, maybe.
Okay.
But we're seeing some contact already. Car in the wall. That's Trump once again in the wall. We got
20 to go, Dash.
20 to go. Or we got 20 to go. Might have another caution here. Looks like a couple cars are down on the apron back there. The 8 cars in the wall here. Not looking good. We have some more contacts. A more big, huge crash. The 5 car blocking the upper lane there. 66 hitting him, and a bunch of other cars getting involved in that. Too many to name.
Well, this sure is going a lot like the truck race, isn't it?
Yeah, the second truck race, that's for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, as I said, I mean, we have so many drivers here at
I'm
Bristol.
sorry about that. I kept getting bumped into you, bud.
I mean, unfortunately, with so many cars at Bristol being so small and so tight, I mean, it's
All
tough to
right,
pass through.
boys. Guys. Enough. Calm down.
We got this.
One lap, one position at a time. You can't win the race off the first lap.
No, you can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. It's
That's
impossible.
Calm down and breathe.
Impossible. Oh.
Yep.
Right.
This is one of our largest fields that we've had large fields throughout the season
15 dash.
in the
15,
in the
thank
Xfinity
you.
series. And this is a bigger field than we've used to in 2 seasons. And everybody's still trying to get accustomed to everybody. Everybody's still trying to feel out, how people drive, this and that.
Looks like the 16 is in the wall. Another big accident back there. But we're getting another caution. Well, yep, there it is. The 16, I wouldn't say initiated that, but it kind of spiraled off of him. He was in the wall. And then after that, things got really bunched up behind him. I can't say that it was entirely his fault. I don't know if it was really anybody's fault there. It's just kind of what developed as he came off the wall, bunched things up, and it's really hard to check up very quickly without guys running in the back of you here. So you kind of just have to stick to your line as you move through it. But seeing as how the first couple laps have gone here, hopefully the racing can pick up so we can get some better content here.
Now, right here, we're going to have 11 laps to go in stage 1. Give or take.
11 to 98, the 74, the 2.
10 dash.
Alright, thank you. Got some 2-wide action off the corner here. Contacts between turf and official. Got a 3-wide situation there. All good as we move. Looking back from Drake's forward cam, and got a wreck back there in the middle of the corner, and that's another caution.
As I say, folks, cautions breed cautions, and they're definitely breeding a lot of them right now.
Steph Curry was involved in that. Let's see if we can see anybody else was involved in that. Looks like Scorpius
I'm actually in now, Dash, so now I can work with you.
Looks like Jay Fergie was also involved in that. He's been good this season. He was a guy that made his way into the. I believe it was the Final Four last season. We had a car just disappear there.
Yes, I believe so. Yes. But right now, folks, we're under a caution flag. Where these guys getting ready to stack themselves back up again. We're gonna try this again. I mean, you know, the 66 is out. Obviously, you know, the 51 is out. Myself. Right now, we're lining them up. The 11 is looks like he's gonna take the green flag. And here we go. We're green again, folks.
4.
Let's see if we can get some green laps in.
I'm gonna watch from the 18's camera here. He had 7.
Oh, we got some definitely. We got contact everywhere. The whole field wrecking in the back mid from mid pack on.
So
yep, that was everybody from mid pack on just racked up. Now we know this is a sweeping track anyway, so as soon as we get in an accident, the track is a progressive track, so it sweeps from the top to the bottom. And once that happens, I mean, there's just no room to go here in Bristol. So basically, when that happens, you collect a lot of cars in that mess. So right now, the 98 sitting in second spot, the 11 in first.
Looks like
those are the first top 2 cars.
Looks like Jade, you were 3rd, possibly.
5th.
5th.
Your top 5 was Drake, Maggio, Plays, Turf, Jade, Keith, Godzak, Warpig, Rachel, and Matt Parkhurst was your top 10.
All right.
Nice job in the top 5, Jay.
I was watching.
Thanks.
Watching from Warpig's camera there.
All right.
So we got
a lot of 2 tires and a lot of guys staying out.
Yeah, and then here we go, folks. We're going into stage 2. And there we go. We go green. We got the 10. We got the 68.
Got a couple
then you got the 92 of Jay Fergie. There we go. Coming out of turn 2.
Turn 2, 3 wide down the front stretch.
That's
going to send Maggio into the wall. It's also going to send Turf into the wall and back down into Maggio.
Right now, I mean, these cars are all over the road, folks. I mean, they're 3 wide, 2 wide, 4 wide. I mean, they're trying to make this track bigger than what it really is, and they're getting through it though.
Looks like we might actually
run through the
have
field.
a couple good laps here.
He goes to 10. He's trying to take the first spot away.
He's gonna get bunched up.
But
The 20,
back,
the 20's getting banged around up there by what looks to be Goose, who's actually up in the front 20, getting banged around once again.
Yeah, he's trying to make his way through this field. Oh, the 74. He just collected up the 90. Yep.
Mike, your mic's open in Discord.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
saw,
if anybody calls my name in Discord and
nice.
just at me, just let me know, please.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know, Drake.
I appreciate it. Also, if we happen to have green flag pit stops, I'll tell somebody to call my name if that's okay, because I can't reach my phone really right now.
It's all good, buddy. I'll let you know.
I appreciate it.
There you go, Jay. We're all good. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, that was absolute chaos right there.
And we're back on the caution again.
yeah, we had a couple good laps there, racing side by side, and then the 36 and the got into the 20, and the 20 just couldn't get his car back the way he wanted it, and it just really accordion effect from there. Got really bunched up and not what you like to see.
Well, here we go, green again. Let's see if these guys can actually get themselves settled in and to get some green laps in. Looks like the 11 is trying to force an issue there with the cutting to the inside of Nitro.
The
The 21 looks like he's looking for the look. He's looking for the look, going for the lead. No, looks like he's going to get the run on the outside. He's going to take it. Yeah, the 21, the 11, then the 68, then the 98, then you got the 36, the 92. That's your top 5, folks. These guys are running. They're side by side, coming in through the start-finish line once again. Oh, a little bit of looseness there. And looks like we are back under caution once again, folks. Yeah, I mean, we know how dash run. Obviously, we've been in here before. You know, we've done this before. We know how tough it is when you get these larger fields, especially on these shorter tracks. You know, it's all about, you know, we have our veterans, and you have new people that are participating in this series. You know, and tough to get. You know, it takes almost a full season to get everybody dialed into actually how everybody drives. And right now, you can see how that works right now, especially here at Bristol, because this is one of those tracks where it takes consistency, it takes patience. The tires, we all know the right front eats. So here we go. We're gonna try this one more time. Hopefully, these guys, they got to get settled in, get some of these green laps, because these setups, you know, going in for these setups, they're not gonna make any difference if you're only doing 3 laps of green flag.
Exactly
And here we go. The 21, he's looking on that inside, trying to get the run on the inside on that 11. Looks like the 11's gonna take the lead from there. He's gonna let him go, let him slide up. Here comes the 98 of Margio. He's gonna take that 3rd spot. And they're 2x2 all the way back through that field, folks. I mean, these guys are definitely, they're trying, they're doing everything they can to try to get some of these green flags in, to get some of these cars worked in, some of these tires heated up.
The 21 there, I believe he was one of the cars that took possibly 2 tires, so he's not going to have as much speed as these other guys do on 4. And what we've seen from the early laps, these guys running really quick up in the front, like Maggio and Drake. But as
once these guys get moving, when Drake, he's had a great season so far. Also Maggio in the 98, he's had a great season. I mean, these two are right now have got, you know. Oh, we're back to yellow again, folks.
Yep, had a crash coming out of 4 there. Out of 4.
Wow.
Yep,
this is tough when you got these size of a field.
Looks to be the 54, the 36 once again, the 74, the 16 as well involved in that. 54 not having a great night at all.
No, a lot of the veteran guys are you know, once you get in mid-pack passing is tough. You know, especially if you're getting 2x2 and 2 people are fighting over the same spot and you can't get through there, even though you got a fast car, you still got them side by side and you still can't do nothing about it. That's where that patience comes into play. You have to, you know, let them work it out, but yet you also got to watch what's behind you and watch what you're doing, because if somebody comes in quicker, you know, faster into the corner, and you're checking up, and then you got an issue. And here we go again. 11 and 98, they're going to battle for this lead once again. And here they go. Then you got the 15 on the outside of the 21, I believe.
Watching from Matt Parker's third-person view here, the 18 is in front of him. He's been working his way up through the field. Warpig has plenty of guys really having a tough time diving it down in and keeping it under what seems to be serving as a PJ1 line up there at the top of the track.
And with these Xfinity cars, because you got to keep these cars wound up as tight as you can to get the speed out of them, because they're slower than you know,
a cup car.
Because they are slower than a cup car, you know, and they're even, you know, they're easier to handle than the trucks. But I mean, we saw what the truck race produced, you know, in Bristol, and I was hoping that this would be a little more be able to be freer with them, because you can move a little bit more with them because of mobility. But it looks like they, you know, looks like they may actually start to get themselves settled in a little bit and get some of these laps in.
Right. How many laps you got to go here?
We have about 20 to go.
Had a couple cars get into each other.
Here.
Had a couple cars
We
get
got
into
18 to go in stage 2.
Right. Had a couple cars get into each other there in the back. Saw that, but no caution. They saved it, and we're good now. But I'm watching this battle here with the 18, the 8, and the 92. 92 coming from a wreck. And then the 8 is in the wall.
Tagging the wall coming off. Yep, you just saw that. I just saw that coming off that turn. He just he scraped that wall just enough to add himself. You know, got him a little squirrely, but looks like he held it together.
Yeah, the guys behind him did not though. The 2 got put in the wall there. That was plays official. And these guys are going 2x2. If a wreck's going to happen, it's probably going to be one of those 2 groups right there.
Well, hopefully once we get some running here, they're starting to get spread out a little bit. Looks like the 11 or Drake, he's starting to pull away from the 2 and 3 of 98 and the 15. They got the 21 and the 18s behind him. That's your top 5. They're starting to get themselves a little, you know, they're settling down. They're starting to get some space between each other. And this is what they were looking for, is to get that little bit of space where you can actually get a little bit of racing room. And now we're getting some green laps locked in. Right now, I think we're on the longest green lap run we've had yet so far this race.
Yes, it's very, very exciting to see that. And as you jinx it,
Oh, I did. Yeah, blame it on the VP.
13, the 9 and the 92 are guys that was involved in that. The 6, I believe, either got tagged or maybe just got too loose off the corner there.
Well, Dash, remind me not to say stuff like that, because look what happens. I just like throw a monkey wrench in the whole deal.
Yeah, but no, it was a good run there. Hopefully we can have another one like that.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're starting to get themselves a little tuned in. It looks like they're starting to get a little more. You know, they got to understand that they have to have this track. You have to, not only do you have its consistency, you have to have that patience. You know, that pass is not going to be given to you. You know, you do have to work for it, but it's just that you have to be very cautious. You know, when you, especially if you're on the bottom, because that, you know, that momentum's coming on that high side, and that you got to let out of that gas a little bit on the bottom. Because you actually have to be very careful coming off that corner, because if you get on that apron on that black top, it's over. You're gonna spin it.
Exactly. You know, we come back to green here with Maggio on the top. We got some what sounds like contact back there. Gonna try and move to see that. Right here, watching from Matt Parkhurst once again. We got 3 wide with Keith, Ayers. And these guys are just the 16 up in the wall again. Looks like he's having a really tough time taking the corners tonight.
Oh, there goes the 13 of Game Nerd. He's around and right on the front stretch, right in front of pit, right on the front pit wall. So he went around. Looks like he's gonna hold it.
Yep, looks like no caution there. The 18 in the wall.
Oh, we got a big squirrely mess coming in the mid pack of this field.
Yeah, looks
They're
like he got
over the road.
It's like he got a bump again. Another bump from the 16.
16, yep.
Really having a tough time with
the 68 and the
tonight.
44. We have
another hit from the 16 to the 18.
Wow, we have a gaggle of cars, 3 wide, 4 wide, people trying to make this thing 5. I mean, they're going for it, but I mean, they got to be very careful, because I mean, it doesn't take much to come off that wall, and next thing you know, looks like you got the 68 now. He's coming under the 8 of Matt. He's going to try to take that position away.
The 6 is back up into traffic. 6 is back up.
Out of nowhere, he just comes up and dives up to the top of that racetrack, but everybody gets through that.
Yep, they're really having a tough time trying to sort this out back here. Looks like the 5 got into the 20 there.
Back there. They're working hard, but they're still just... Oh, we got another guy in the wall. Oh, we got the 18. The 18 and the 90 got together. They keep it straight. We're still in the green, folks.
Oh, we had a car spin around back there. Looks like it. We're on the 54. Got another car on the backstretch. Spun out. The 89 of Keith Ayers, who we saw up in the front just about 10 laps ago. The 54 as well, who's coming back on, rejoining the bottom
I saw
lane.
He's joining. He was on the bottom of that racetrack. He's coming back up onto the surface. The 13 and the 6 in the back of this field with the 9, they're fighting this out.
Watching Jade Burr in the 10 here, trying to make his way past the 92, as the 92 is up into the wall, and now the 21 is around. The 44 is in it. The 36
oh yeah, there we go. Here we
it.
go. We got 2 people
And
getting sent down.
Big crash there.
2 people got sent down pit road. You got the 68, the 20, the 8, the 18, the 74, the 7, all mixed in with, you know. They're still going straight, but they're all mixed in with that. And that's another thing that we deal with here at Bristol, is because the pit road is so tight that it does not take much for someone to bump you a little bit, not meaning to, and then next, you know, you're going down wrong pit road, or you're going down the pit road, and then that basically, you're going to automatically go down at least 3 laps after that.
Another guy we haven't really talked about tonight is Cease. He's in 3rd right now, I believe, from what it looks like.
I will check that out, make sure we're there, because I can flip through my cameras. Unfortunately, you know, we deal with this, folks. We can't quite keep our cameras straight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. It looks as though he is in 3rd. I believe he's in 3rd, unless it's a lap car. But if he is in 3rd, we haven't talked about this man all night. It's been Maggio and Drake's show out front, and although he may not be right next to him, racing side by side with him. He is putting on a great race for critical role in the 15.
What's going on right now? Because I'm on a black screen. Yep, everybody else is having the same problem.
I think somebody's in the pits. Yep, somebody's in the pits here, I believe.
Actually, we got one guy that was headed.
There we go.
Yep, there it is.
There we go.
Thank God, I got scared for a second there.
Yeah, the 36 was got put in the pits there. How many laps are gonna have left here? Tell me.
I'll let you know as soon as I figure it out.
Alright.
All right, here we go. Green again, folks.
63 laps.
Alright,
Wow.
63 to go.
That's a lot of laps to be dealing
That
around
is,
here at this short
we can
Coliseum.
go 51 on fuel. 63 to go, or 63.
Oh, the top
7.
three of these guys, top three, the 98, the 11, the 36, the 15. These guys are battling this out, trying to get through here. They're trying to stay, back to back. There's definitely a lot of touching and rubbing there with the 98 and the 36. He's holding his own though. He's starting to get he worked his way back up in that field. We know how well that driver can be when he really gets getting rolling.
The 11 of Drake really pulling away here as we see some cars having some issues in the back, but we're all rolling.
Yep.
As of right
So
now.
right now, folks, we have the 11, the 36, the 98, and then from there you have the 15. Looks like 98's trying to make a peek underneath that 36 of Goose, and then you have the 16 behind him. Now a lot of things change when these green when these pit stops happen and cautions come out. Looks like the 15 is trying to look on the outside of the 98, looking for that third spot. Goose he's just trying to hold himself in the trying to run his race and hold his line. He's doing a great job there.
Drake.
What'd you say?
How many laps do we have left?
Give me 1 second.
Oh,
here.
there's some contact, buddy. Sorry about that. There's some contact between the 15 and the 98. That 98 still trying to ride that outside. He looks like he might be able to get it. Goose gonna shut the door. Goose gonna shut the door on that 15 car. Then we got the 16 behind him, and then you have that's the top 5. Oh, there's a big bump from the 98 to the 36.
Yep, seeing it right now. Looking back off of Drake's camera.
Yeah. Yeah, so right now, folks, the top 2, 3, 4 are nose to tail. Then you've just brought up 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. These folks now we're starting to get some of these green flag laps in that we've been looking for all night, and now we're starting to get rolling. But it looks like the top 10 are the top from the second spot all the way back to the top to the 10th spot. Looks like you could throw them under a blanket. They're running for it now. 98's trying to look for a hole and he can't get it because the 15 and 36 is side by side, and there's not much you can do about that except for just ride that spot until this battle gets figured out. But what that's going to do, he's going to try to squeak. He was trying to put his nose in there, folks. Oh, the 15's in the wall. He's going to lose
He
that.
got put in the wall there by the 98.
Yep. He was trying to squeak that 3 wide, and Bristol here 3 wide just does not work. And here comes another one. He's trying it again. Now we're going 3, 3, 6. They're a gaggle of cars in the back between second and third. And if you think about it, Dash, second and third, what they need to do is just stay nose to tail, run their laps, and skate away from all the chaos that's going behind them.
You're exactly right. They just need to check
there's some
out.
contact with the 16. He just jammed him in the wall. That was a big mess.
20 is in it. The 74, the 54 is in it
That
as
should
well.
pull out a caution here, folks. It was like somebody tagged the 16 and
Now,
sent him
if we pit right here at this caution, we will have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Okay, good to
So
know.
it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to pit and who's not.
Now you look at it, we all know, especially myself, just coming out of this race, we know that right front will get eaten up real bad if you push it too hard. So you think about it, I mean, even though you've still got that many laps, I mean, you might be able to make it all the way on fuel, but the question is, can you make that tire last? That's going to be that's what we run into, Dash. I know we've both been there on this track. That that right front on these cars will eat up real quick.
Yes, it will. I had that trouble here.
Wow, everybody pit right there. Wow.
When we had the double header here, I really had some trouble with the right front. But
yep.
looks like
all right, here we go,
Drake,
folks.
you said that everybody pit here.
Except for 2 guys at the front.
Except for the 18
Everybody
and the
up front.
5. And we'll look
And
on as we go back green.
I mean, that strategy's a great strategy, but if the people in behind you aren't willing to be patient with that because you didn't pit, then you're going to have a mess. Because look at this. Here's that move to the 11, the 98, the 36. They're all going to make that move on that car that didn't pit. Loving skates away. The 98 skates away. The 36 is free. Sounds like we got a mess in the backfield.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, there's half the field.
That's
half the field
the big
right
one.
there.
It's the big one at Bristol. It all just kind of cascades down.
Yep. I think you believe if you get back from a 12th back on, that was all the cars, man. There's gonna be some work. Better go kick in the other side of that door because there's no dent there.
Drake, that was a little aggressive, bud.
Oh God.
That was a little aggressive. That caused that entire stack up and caused the whole wreck.
Well, I'll have to take a look at it later.
Because it slowed him down and sent him back, and then he hit the wall because he was trying to catch it. Because everybody went around him. It's all good.
Send me a clip. Send me a clip after the race if you would.
Yeah. If my race saves, it didn't save last time.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's all good. It's all good. It happens. Just be mindful.
Here we go.
That's all I'm saying, buddy.
You got the 11, the 98, the 36 worked his way back up. You got the 92, I believe, on the other side of that. The 18, the 16. That's your top 6. Then here they go again. Looks like this field's starting to dwindle a little bit.
20 had some lag there, but he's fine now. The 92 and the 36, we've seen those guys in multiple wrecks tonight.
Oh, the 11 got a little bit. He got pushed up a little bit in that nose. He got himself into that 98, which pushed him up in the wall. But they're clean and clear.
The
Here
6
we go.
and the 20 are. Oh, the 74 is into the inside wall head on. We got another caution here for sure.
And here comes that 36. He's starting to work his way. He's worked his way up from being in that. Here we go, another caution, but he's still holding his third place spot. Definitely caution, 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 caution. Can I get an ice cream? No.
I'd like some popcorn at this point.
Yeah. I mean, these guys. As I said, this is not a direct science, everybody. These guys put a lot of time, a lot of practice. We have so many different dynamics that work towards this that it's not that these guys aren't great racers. It's the fact that you got wheels to controllers, and then you got between the server lags and possible, some of us
janky physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of us run off hot spots, some of us run off hard wires, and that's where you get all the different dynamics of what's going on right now.
Especially at a tight track like Bristol,
Agreed. I agree, and the size of the field too. So here we go, the 11, the 98, they're going to do battle. 36, he's on the outside this time. The 92, he's got himself in there. 36, he's going to be able to skate himself away. Looks like he might be able to break free into that third spot. We'll see. There's definitely going to be a battle there. But the 11 and the 98, they're side by side going to the start-finish line. They're going to get through. Everybody else is 2x2 on the back, all the way through the backside. Ooh, that 11 tries to pinch him up, 98 up a little bit. We're watching this lead now. 36, he skates free into that third spot.
Looks like if this race is going to go green, it's going to be the 11 or the 98 that's going to have a really good shot to win this one.
Yeah, these two have been definitely the class of the field. Here, track position is a big key, and they've managed to keep themselves clean, keep themselves clear, and this is where they're at. But you can't take that away from all the cars in the back either, because they've another caution out because of 36. He got himself into a mixing and mishap, and he's sitting in third right now. And then, of course, I think the 10 car is sitting fourth. Is that correct? Am I seeing that right? Is that Mr. Jade Burr sitting in fourth spot?
It is Mr. Jade.
That is indeed. Yep.
Looks like the 5 and the 13 were involved in that debacle there. But Keith Ayers back up in the front of the field, in the top 5 at least, as it stands on what I'm seeing on stream right now.
It's what it looks like from what we're seeing right now. I mean, here, if you can walk away with a top 5, you've done your job. Definitely done your job.
Gonna flip through. Gonna try and watch the 54 car here. He's got a really good vantage point. He's about 4 rows deep.
Yep.
To see what's going on.
And he's just going to have to work his way through. Here we go. The 11, the 98, the 36, and the 10. They're going to go battle at it for the top 4 spots.
36 is having a bit of lag here.
Looks like the 11, he's going to get clean on the bottom. He's going to cut up in front of that 98. There goes that. Looks like Jade Burr, he took over that third spot. He's working his way, trying to get himself back up in there. And he hasn't missed a Bristol race for any one of our series in forever.
21 is in the wall. 16 is also in the wall once again.
He's definitely, yeah, Will's definitely struggling tonight. Whether it be because of the size of the field or maybe, you know, just, I mean, we all talk about practice. You know, I mean, how key it is. He may not have got any, but looks like these right now the class of the field is at 11 and 98. Yeah. The 16 coming there. Looks like Goose may have lost a couple spots. We'll give him time. He'll probably be back up there before you know it.
Here comes the 54.
Jay Burr,
he's 36 and the 92 are side by side here. Oh, and the 92 checked up.
So he's in the wall.
30s.
It's going to let him get away from that.
With the 35.
That's going to bring him into the top 5.
Inside the 54 was able to give that spot back up to the 92. He did not mean to do that at all. Want some green flag runs here. But Drake, how many laps we got left?
We have 26 laps left.
That's still a lot of racing left. Still a lot of cautions to come out. Yep. Especially at this place. Yep. They call it the bull ring for a reason, because that's about what it is. Oh, looks like the 10. He may have got himself touched up in the wall a little bit. Oh, another touch up into the 98. He's in the wall a little bit.
In the wall as well. I'm seeing
look at the 36. He's trying to work himself way back up. Now you got the 92 up all over the 36, trying to take that spot away. Yep. Right now, the top 5 cars, they're starting to try to get themselves separated from the rest of this field. But, I mean, cautions happen. I mean, you look back through... Probably about through 9th through 15th, they're like nose to tail, side by side, trying to skate their way through this mess. And it's not easy.
The top 7 here are really driving away, but Drake is about about a quarter of a corner away from just about everybody else.
I'm
36.
him. Right now.
The 36 and the 92, they're definitely battling out for that top 5 spot with the 54 trying to breathe down their neck, and can't get really much. A little bit, it looks like we have some lag a little bit issues here with the 36 a little bit. Yep. Oh, the 54, he tagged the 36 there.
Yep. 36 definitely.
But it's tough to tell from our angle too. Oh, the 16, he's
16,
nosed in the wall. He's done.
He's been done. But yeah, a really tough night for that driver.
Yeah, for that team. Yeah, unfortunately for Will. I mean, it just wasn't his night tonight. But Will also, he has a lot on his plate too, because he works. You know, he runs for the Busch series. You know what I mean? For Sieg, we had him on the show. You know, we know he has a very busy schedule.
Exactly. But
you know, I haven't passed a single lap car this whole race, or I haven't had to actually like battle to pass it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, cautions help with that. Definitely.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
We have some guys.
That's what saves you. I mean, if this thing went green, you would see a lot of lap cars.
We have a couple guys here. It looks like Matt Parkhurst possibly.
He's starting to work his way up too. I see that now. He's starting to get up in there. He's right behind the 54, which is behind the 36. So the 54 is peeking underneath the 36 now.
Looks like I believe
not
that's
quite
the
couldn't
15.
Get there.
Yes, the 15 of Seats is also
there's
with
some
him.
contact between Jade and the 15, or the 92. I'm sorry, which brought up the 36 and the 54. That's going to bring us in. 92's in the wall again. It's going to lock up these top 5. Oh, there's definitely some bumping there. The 54 and the 36 are like hammering on each other.
Yeah, 36 having some lag issues.
Looks like he might be some lag issues now. See, that's the thing, folks, is that when we get this large field. It looks like it might be a lag issue. That's just it. With all the different dynamics that all of us run, this is what
Jade down on the apron.
Oh, Jade jumps down the apron.
We're coming to 15 laps to go right now.
And they're still hammering it out. Oh, the 54 just completely takes out Jade. And then he takes out the 6.
He had a little bit of help getting to that point as well from the 36. And the 8 as well. He had a nose under the 36, had some contact with him initially, and then the 36 came down and sent him onto the apron there. I'm not sure if they're...
And that will definitely, I mean, you hit that apron, that will definitely turn you around a little bit.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure if the 30. If what we're seeing on our end is what they're seeing on their end,
Right, and that's true, folks. That's another dynamic that we look at is that when we're racing in here, and I can vouch for this, is that it's inches in some spots. It's close. It's tight. You know, and sometimes you have to give that little crack in the throttle to let. I mean, granted, you don't want to give the position, but sometimes it's better to give a position than lose 15.
right.
You know, and we deal with that, you know, a lot in a lot of the series, especially the Heat series. You know, as I said before, these guys, you know, some of us have been together for 2 seasons now. You know, everybody's new. You know, some people are new, and looks like he just went on the inside wall. That'd be the 44. It looks like he's having some issues. The 54 is trying to look under him.
As we count down the laps here, we have what looks to be 9 to go in this wacky race here at Bristol.
Oh, 54. He just tagged the wall again. Looks like he might be struggling now. Looks like that car might be loosening up. But this is definitely at this point, folks, this is definitely the longest green flag run we've had yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, mine sure is loosening up a lot.
Yeah, the right front should be wearing down pretty heavy right about now. That left rear, the right rear, I mean, is still going to be probably about 10% higher than probably that right front. So, I mean,
Not
you
for
definitely...
me, I have 15% lower on my right rear right now.
Okay. Just the setup wise too caused that. Oh, we got a car up on the high side. Looks like the 90 at regional. He's on that wall. He's staying up there trying to let everybody go by. Oh, the 54. He just tagged up with somebody. He's gonna have some struggling. He's trying to let the 21 go. Oh, definitely gets a little bit of contact here. That 54 is struggling now. We got somebody that definitely tagged that wall with that race there. But we're definitely counting down these laps, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, I got 4 to go right here.
4 to go.
4 to go. Looks like
having a really good run right here. What seems
trying to make that move
to be possibly closing up on the 11. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to make that run and make that pass for the win. Just a little bit too far
and
ahead.
Now, but
coming to 3 to go.
You got lap traffic coming in now. He's starting to catch up with this lap traffic, and you know how lap traffic can be.
Yes, I do.
I mean, all it takes is one little oops, and it looks like regional's gonna on the 90. He's gonna give him a lot of space. Let the 11 go by. The 98, he's coming in. He's gonna stay up there wedged up against this, so he don't get in. Here we go. Will the 98 be able to catch the 11? That's a good question, but I don't know. He's trying.
Definitely trying. I just don't think he's gonna have enough time. We got what final lap here?
Yep. White flag.
Final lap. White flag in the air.
We got a mess. We got a car spinning on the front stretch.
And that's going to be the race.
That's going to call it.
Going to call it. Drake is
The
your
11,
winner.
the 98. That's your top 2.
Maggio, the 98, in second. And the 89 of Keith Allen Ayers is going to end up in third.
Drake could win.
Thanks, Jade. I appreciate it, buddy.
Wow, that was definitely a turn of events there.
Yes.
How'd the race go?
Pretty good from my standpoint.
Take you one.
There we go, folks. That's the end of it. We're gonna go ahead and pull in the top 3 drivers in this. We'll get some interviews in and talk to them about how this upside down race kind of went.
Yep. All right. Alright, all we need is who finished second? Maggio. I'll get Maggio in here. Alright. Gonna get him in here. Sorry for the blue screen. Okay. Alright. That was not the best way to not the best way to showcase a race at Bristol. Definitely not what we want. But we had some good green flag racing. Had a couple, about 3 points in the race where we had some good green flag laps.
I mean, we all know that, especially at Bristol, Bristol is so tough to negotiate, not only with just even 15 cars, but now add 20-something cars. It doesn't work out quite, especially if people have, especially when you get the diversity of the veteran drivers to the new drivers that just came in.
Right.
And it all takes time to develop. We went 2 seasons with all just the same drivers. We didn't really have any, we had a few come and go, this and that, et cetera, et cetera. But then this season, coming into the Xfinity Series, we had 15 drivers that was added, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of dynamic and a lot of getting used to braking points, running points. Some people brake, some people don't, some people, you know what I mean? And you won't know until you actually get almost a full, because it took us, if you remember right, when I came into the Xfinity Series, it took 1 full season for the veterans that were there, for the people that were there, to get rotated through, and then look what we had. Once we got the 4th race in, we started really getting tuned in. Then next season we really got dialed in for that season, for the for the second season, and then the season here we're almost back to that rebuild kind of deal.
Right.
But there's a lot of scouting going on too, because the Cup Series is coming up.
All right, so the third place driver tonight, Keith Allen Ayers. You're in the booth here. You finished 3rd tonight. Had some ups and downs. Tell us what happened from your standpoint throughout the race.
All in all, it was a good race. I mean, I ran up front in the beginning portion of the race. I got shuffled back, but I was able to make my way back up to 3rd. I mean, once I got clear of the pack, I was able to run consistent laps. I tried to run down Maggio for 2nd, but I just ran out of laps. All in all, I think it was a pretty good night for me.
It's good to hear. A lot of guys, unfortunately, weren't able to have that, good night. But it's fortunate for you that you did. You've accumulated a lot of points so far this season in the Busch Series. Something you're definitely somebody that we're looking out for that championship race as the season moves along. But now moving on to our 2nd place driver, Maggio. You had a pretty interesting race. You were up there pretty much the whole time. But tell us about some of the things that I may have not seen or pointed out. Tell us about your race.
I mean, it wasn't very eventful for me, to be honest with you. I started up front. I started on the pole, and I fell back to, I think, 2nd it was. And I was just in 2nd for the whole entire first stage, and then, because I just stayed out the whole time. And then Drake and I pit, and we restarted, I think, 9th and 10th, and we just made our way back through the field on fresher tires, because we had fresher tires than the guys who stayed out. Right. Then we stayed out that whole stage as well, and then we just pit on the final stage break, and then we made it back up to 1st and 2nd one more time, and then there was that one caution where everyone pit, and that was everyone's last pit for the most part, because track position was just so important. And there was 2 guys that stayed out on really old tires, and we were able to get back out to 1st and 2nd. And I was actually happy when that caution came out, because through some strategy, Trek was actually able to get 2nd on one of the cautions, and it really slowed us down. Like, he was much slower than me and a couple of the guys behind me. And I mean, Drake had a whole straightaway on us, I think, because he was just slowing us down like crazy. And then when that caution came out, it put me on the outside of him, and he was in 3rd and I was in 4th, and I was finally able to get by him. And then after that, it was just pretty much running 2nd all race behind Drake.
So Maggio, this is Mike Senior here. So question: do you think that your track positions for that whole race is what made you key? Because do you think if you had ended up, say, something happened, you end up in that 15th, 16th spot, do you think you could have made it back through there?
I think it would have been extremely hard without getting damage or ruffling some feathers or getting people mad at you. I valued track position more than almost any amount of tires in that situation. As long as I thought I had about at least 5 to 6 cars behind me on the same tires as me, I was staying up front. There was no way I was going back there, especially with the things I was hearing.
So because of the field the size that we have now, here, because before we didn't quite have this size. So definitely, I mean, going forward, I would from my point of view, because I did lag out. My point of view is that you're better off being closer to the front than you are trying to work your way from the back to the front.
Definitely, yeah.
And that goes for actually almost for any race that we do. From what I'm seeing now, because of the size of our field, is because of that, and I would assume that would be the same thing for anywhere now at this point. Even no matter if it's short track, super speedway, it doesn't matter. The closer you are to that front, because of our size, the better off chance you have of having a better finish and a great finish.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Just want to say, good win to Drake. I only had about 20 tries, 20 restarts to try to get by him, but I mean, only 20. Couldn't figure it out though. So
yeah, he's had a hot hand this year. That's for sure. This season, he's had definitely a hot hand.
All right, moving on to Drake. Drake, tell us about your night. What kind of events happened that might be different from others?
Well, for me, I mean, I guess the first thing I want to touch on is I really enjoyed racing with Maggio tonight. I had a very fun time, and to those of you who don't know, me and Maggio are fairly close friends, and we've actually done quite a bit of league racing together before. So me and him usually we're very familiar with each other's driving styles for the most part, and we know what to expect from the other one. So usually when it's me and him, we usually have some good hard clean racing.
Yeah, very clean. I was very happy with how.
And that's something that I did point out too, Drake, is that I kind of touched on that too. After I lagged out, I jumped in the booth with Dash and stuff like that. We talked about that quite often. That the more and more time that you have with somebody, whether it be you or Maggio or even the rest of the series, the better you become, because the better you see how their braking skills are. Do they brake? Don't they brake? Are they on a wheel? Are they on a controller? Those all dynamics all come into all the stuff that we do here. And you just kind of touched on that. Basically, because of you two have raced so much together before, that you expect of what you're doing. Now you look at the backside of the field, where you have your veterans and you have new guys, and look, the unpredictability of who can brake and who can't, and who does this and who does that, creates the different dynamic that we're seeing right now compared to what was before.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're right. As soon as a lot of these guys get on into the season, and we get to some more favorable tracks other than Bristol, we are gonna see that chemistry between these guys rise up, and we're going to see a lot better racing and a lot less cautions. And
agreed. The bigger the track that we run on, the 1.5 miles, the 2 mile tracks, and this and that, you get that better racing, because of the fact is that you get a little more space. These tight tracks is what we've been struggling with in this season, in this series, is because of the fact that it's so close proximity, that without us knowing and having the time with each other, like like some of the other times, the past 2 seasons with the veteran, some of the veterans from the new guys that have come in, you could see the different dynamics of it. I mean, if you were to actually take this race and go to last year's race, you would see a totally different race whatsoever, because of the fact that those guys had that time frame, and and all the new additions to this series for this season, but this is also a tryout. Now remember, this is also a tryout for coming up Cup season. I mean, who's going to make the cut? Who's not going to make the cut? So I mean, sometimes that gets in your mind, and you get that pressuring. You pressure yourself to make those mistakes that we see sometimes, because you want to have that great showing. But rule number 1 is that you don't have to be fast to make the field.
Exactly.
No, you're just consistent.
But all in all, I think tonight was definitely a test for a lot of guys. We touched on that in the pre-race, that tonight could have been really good, or it could have gone really bad. And I think we had a bit of both. worlds in a sense that had a couple good green flag runs there, but ultimately cautions breed cautions, just like you said, Mike. I mean,
Yep.
it's just that they keep happening at a place like this, and hopefully next week at Vegas we can avoid things like that, just like you said, and get more space, spread out, get some more trust, get trust instilled back into some of these racers with their counterparts,
Yeah.
and we will go from there. But
Oh, I mean, you know as well as I do, Dash, that it's funny because of when you add the veterans, then you add new guys, you get that kind of that little twist that you get, with the new guys coming into the league, coming into the series, and then you get the veterans that come into the series. It doesn't always mesh correctly sometimes until you get going. You know what I mean? And I think this is another, this is a prime example. I mean, we dealt with it at Martinsville, we dealt with it here, any of the short tracks, and that's the dynamic of between the veterans and the new people that are here, the rookies, I guess you could say, is that the meshing isn't quite there yet. I mean, time is always of the essence, and time, granted, seasons winding down, this and that. We have people looking for cup, looking at cup and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the more and more that these guys are together, whether it be, and it actually really doesn't matter which series, Dash, when we talk about this, it could be in the truck series, it could be in the Xfinity series, it could be in Cup series. The more and more we are around each other and race each other, the better and better the racing becomes. And we've all experienced it, we've all seen it. So, I mean, it doesn't take this race, don't look at it as, as a failure. I mean, granted, there was a lot of cautions, a lot of this, all that. It wasn't a failure, it was everybody getting to be able to work together on a short track, which is not an easy. Martinsville, Richmond, even go get to New Hampshire, all those tracks where it takes that little bit of patience that we talk about, and work together is what creates, the things in our success. But it takes time. Nothing is ever, especially when it comes to this, and this is a video game. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the lag with servers, this and that, blah blah blah. It's just all about matter of time. The more and more time we have together with all of us, the better and better we all become. And it was proven, past 2 seasons. The first season when I joined, when I became VP of the series, we worked together. We got through the 5 races, and then it started really meshing. And then the second season, it went off like clockwork, and it was like fire. This year is going to be the same way. As we move on. The more deeper and deeper we get in the season, the better and better racing you should be seeing.
Right. And I think that next week at Vegas is going to be a good initial test for a lot of these guys. They didn't have good races tonight.
Oh.
Not a lot of good races
our first
tonight.
part of our schedule was tough.
It's really
anyways.
gonna, for sure, it's going to give people an advantage. The guys that had good races tonight are going to have an advantage of confidence going into next week. But, that's next Wednesday. These guys can practice and do things on their own.
Yep.
And with their teams, and it's going to be an interesting
and that's what I preach
for Vegas as well.
And that's what I preach for 2 seasons is that, and that's kind of how things went for 2 seasons is that now some people are starting to, like before this race went off tonight, we had about 10 people practicing together. That's the key right there, is that the more and more time you practice, whether it be actually racing, doing this, for the race, or whether you're taking some time and race with your teammates or this and that. I mean, that's what, I had a successful 2 seasons with Herbert Motorsports, with Goose and Casey. But that was because we put the time in. We work together, and then I preach this all the time with all the teams that we have in this series: is that stop working together, stop running together, stop, open up lobbies, do things. I mean, you just can't run one before the race. Yes, it's great to help to get you your line down, this and that, but it takes more than that to make it successful and to have a successful race. It takes hours and hours and hours to be able to do this, and everybody's starting to get the gist of it now. And more before the race, more and more people are getting in there and racing with each other and trying different things and talking with each other. Even though that we're maybe on separate teams, we're still cooperative because it's successful that way.
And I think on that note, we're gonna end the night on
Yep.
something positive. Going into next week, we'll see you all at Vegas. And then looking even more ahead, we'll see you guys for another doubleheader to catch us back up from earlier on in the season with the heat servers being down. We'll see you guys at Pocono and Talladega, and that'll catch us back up with the Truck Series. But all in all, we'll see you guys very soon for another racing stream. This is the WRL, and
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, Bob. Before you bail out, please make sure everybody tune in to Saturday nights for our show. Please come, visit me. And, please come and visit me and Jade, on the show on Saturday night where we touch base on a lot of the series. We have special guests. Please come and join us. Show your support. Show some of these drivers your support because with all that. The drivers, whether it be in F1, whether it be in GT, or whether it be here at Heat or any player, everybody loves that excitement of having someone looking at them, and it gives them an extra incentive to run better, kind of deal. So please join us. We had last week, unfortunately I missed, but it was a great show from what I saw. With all the people that are part of the league and do the commentating and stuff like that. That was a great great addition to that. Next week we're not quite sure where we're at. For what we're doing, we may have a good surprise coming up. We'll see how that all works out. But also, I want to give thanks to Steve Rogers for being part of this. He's out there listening. I know he is. We're grateful for him for supporting this league and the trophies and everything that he does, and on all those and all the drivers. Don't take this as a negative. Take it as a positive. We're grateful to have you. We enjoy you. Just keep working hard and you'll see the differences. At one time, if it wasn't for, all the hard work I put in for the past 2 seasons, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Well, don't type tonight because I lagged out, but, in general, my racing has gotten better because of it. And just keep an eye out, folks. We all here at WRL, we all thank you. We all enjoy having you being part of this and watching this league grow because it's growing tremendously in a lot of different ways. And thank you very much, and I hope that Dash. Thank you for letting me join you late in the race, since just to bounce in here and say hi and enjoy your evening, folks, and you have a great night.
Yes, have a great night. We'll see you guys very soon.